This is Valley News Live at noon.
We begin with breaking news. History has been made as the Supreme Court's newest justice, Kentaji Brown Jackson, just took the oath, becoming the first black woman to serve on the nation's highest court. She replaces Justice Stephen Breyer, who sent his official retirement letter to the White House as the court wraps up its current term. Justice Brown Jackson, who also brings experience as a former federal public defender, steps into a Supreme Court deeply divided by contentious decisions on abortion, gun laws, and climate change. Next term will bring additional key cases on voting rights, same-sex marriage, and affirmative action. We have new information. We're now learning the name of the man who died in a motorcycle crash earlier this week. North Dakota Highway Patrol officials say the victim was the chief of police in Carrington. 36-year-old Brandon Sola of Velva, North Dakota was the victim. The accident happened Tuesday night on I-94 just west of West Fargo. Officials say Sola lost control and he was thrown off of his bike. He was pronounced dead at the scene. In addition to being the Carrington police chief, Sola was also a master sergeant with the North Dakota Air National Guard in Fargo. They say they're mourning the loss, saying they'll always remember his commitment to the National Guard and to law enforcement. We have new information on a man that died after hitting a train in his pickup. The North Dakota Highway Patrol officials say 24-year-old Cole Helmers was driving a pickup with a trailer in Kidder County when he hit the side of a BNSF train. The truck and trailer were pushed into a ditch and rolled. There were 3 cows in the trailer, but Highway Patrol officials say they all died. 24-year-old Cole Helmers was driving a pickup in a trailer, like we were just saying. It was pushed into a ditch and rolled, and there were also 3 cows in that trailer. The thunderstorms may have woken up some folks last night, but those are long gone. Let's go to Summer Schnellbach with a look at your forecast for today.
Thank you so much, JC. I had just fallen asleep too when those storms started to roll through, kind of a rude awakening, but thankfully things are much quieter here this afternoon. We're seeing a lot of blue sky here in the Southern Valley, not necessarily the case across the entire valley. And let's take a look at some of the rainfall reports that came in, because some of them were quite impactful. Just under an inch in Ulen, Minnesota. Leonard, 0.71 inches, 0.65 in Moorhead, Minnesota. NDSU on the north end of Fargo picking up a little over ½ an inch of rain. Here in our parking lot at Valley News Live, we picked up 0.35 inches of rain, around ¼ an inch in Cormorant and Mentor, Minnesota. Here's a loop of those storms as they pass through. We'll wait for this to start on over again. There we go. The storms rolling through with lots of thunder, lots of lightning, heavy rain, and of course some wind as well. North Fargo lightning, what an awesome shot there. And these storms did cause some damage as well. A snapped tree in South Fargo. JC, right now some areas are still dealing with some cloud cover, but overall it's a mild day. I'll have an outlook on what you can expect and a look at your 4th of July forecast.
All right, we'll check back with you in a little bit. Thank you, Summer. Earlier this month, Minnesota frontline workers in certain essential jobs could sign up to receive bonus checks courtesy of the state's Hero Pay law. However, for people living in border cities like Moorhead or East Grand Forks, there's a catch. Hero Pay will not be given to people who worked in North Dakota but live in Minnesota. For example, if a nurse lives in Moorhead but works at the hospital in Fargo, they would not qualify for that frontline worker pay. The state is giving out $750 checks to people with an income of less than $175,000 or to couples with an income less than $350,000 who worked in certain professions during the height of the pandemic. A gunman is still on the loose after shooting a man multiple times inside a Twin Cities movie theater. People were enjoying their screenings when shots rang out inside Marcus Oakdale Theater just after 10 Tuesday night. Police say a 23-year-old man was taken to a hospital with multiple gunshot wounds.
It's super surreal because, you've seen a lot of, episodes or reenactments of shootings like in the Colorado Theater a few years back, and that's what pops into your head right away, like, oh my gosh, is this my time?
The victim is recovering after surgery. Police say he's expected to survive. The motive for the shooting is unclear at this point, but police say they don't believe this was a random act. We have new information. The death toll has risen to 53 in the discovery of a tractor trailer in San Antonio that was smuggling migrants in sweltering heat. 4 people now face charges in the case, with one due to have an initial court hearing today. The others are expected in court by the end of this week. Naomi Ruckham explains the punishment they could face as authorities work to identify the victims.
A memorial grows near the scene where a tractor trailer full of migrants was found earlier this week. The number of victims is rising from 51 yesterday to 53, as 2 more of the people initially hospitalized have since died. Identifying the victims has been a challenge for authorities since most didn't have IDs on them. Officials say the migrants are from Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador.
So we need to confirm with these countries, their consulates and embassies, are these the people? And we need to wait to hear back from them. Once we have that confirmation, we can then conclusively say, yes, this is the person.
Law enforcement says 4 people have now been charged with federal crimes in the case, including the alleged driver of the truck, who is an American citizen from Texas. Authorities say he initially tried to pass himself off as a victim before being arrested. He and another man face human trafficking charges that carry a possible death penalty or life in prison.
I don't understand how anyone could be so callous as to allow that to happen and then run from the scene.
The tragedy marks the deadliest human smuggling incident on record in U.S. history. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says the Texas Department of Public Safety would start setting up additional highway checkpoints to investigate trucks driving across the state. Deleting TikTok from the Apple and Google stores, that's what officials with the FCC are requesting due to China-related security concerns. TikTok is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, which faced U.S. scrutiny under former President Donald Trump. Officials with the FCC wrote in a letter that TikTok functions as a sophisticated surveillance tool that harvests extensive amount of personal and sensitive data. It remains to be seen if Google or Apple will remove the immensely successful app from their stores. But first, we're going to get a look at your forecast with Summer Schnellbach after this short break. Stay with us.